Hello and welcome to something a bit different. This time I'm playing Rug Animar. uh, this is not a card that has really been on my radar, but Dukes on Twitch, well-known Maverick player, has sort of talked about how he wants this card to be a thing, and I'm kind of excited to see if this is a thing. I don't know if it's going to be, but I'm going to try it. And one of the things is I actually wanted to try it before Outlaws of Thunder Junction drop, notably because what card is it? It's this card here. I actually think this card might be a better fit in this kind of a deck than Animar, but we'll see. Um, yeah. So Animar, for those who don't know, for those who don't play Commander, it is a 3 mana 1/1. It's protection from white and black. Whenever you cast a creature spell, it gets +1/+1, a +1/+1 counter, and creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each +1/+1 counter on Animar. So it can get pretty sizable. It's immune to like white and black removal, um, somewhat. A lot of black removal is edict effects, which probably get around this, but the white removal in the form of prismatic ending, swords to plowshares, Teferi, um, or leyline binding, like none of that is going to work on Animar unless somebody casts like a dress down or something. So I'm kind of excited for this card. It's still vulnerable to something like Caracas, but I feel like outside of a couple decks, Caracas isn't seeing a ton of play. So I'm kind of excited to see where this goes. Um, as a result, the creature count has to be super high, as you can see, 28, in order to really make this card work. Um, and and I actually think some of the removal that I'm running, so a lot of the removal I'm running is kind of in the form of creatures, so like Moloch, Fury. I'm running Bolt. I even considered something like uh, whatever, yeah, Trumpeting Carnosaur. I don't think this I don't think is quite where I want to be, but like it's definitely something I considered, right? Suddenly you could get 4 counters on Animar and cast this, but I think you really need something to cast on turn one, and so I decided to go with Bolt. I am still going with Pick Your Poison, even though that's not a creature. Because otherwise, in rug colors, like without white or black removal, it's very hard to deal with something like a Resolved Murktide Regent. But Pick Your Poison is an answer, as well as being good in the non-creature decks too. Um, yeah, so other than that, it's kind of Maverick-esque in a lot of ways. I'm running 5 Dorks. I'm running 4 Green Sun Zeniths. I have the full play set of Endurances. Obviously, I'm not white, so I'm not running Knight of the Reliquary. I opted for Questing Druid as kind of a source of card advantage. It's a creature. It works with Animar. The deck has quite a few non-green spells, although it actually has quite a few like pure green spells, which don't really help Questing Druid. Although Questing Druid, like if you seek the beast and you have another Questing Druid, that does work. Um, we'll kind of see where that goes. I have a Nissa Resurgent Animus, which is a card that I think could fit here. Um, it's a 3/3 legend. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, you add a mana of any color. If this resolves a second time in the turn, so like if you play a fetch, crack a fetch, get the land, you reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an elf or elemental. There are no other elves, but Animar is an elemental, Endurance is an elemental, and Fury is an elemental. So lots of like really good cards to get. Rounding out the deck with kind of Slowgurk the Overslime, Uro, a Brazen Borrower, which is kind of like another creature that's also kind of a removal spell for something like a Murktide Regent, and Moloch. Moloch works really well with Animar. I actually think I'd probably run 2 or maybe even 3 Molochs in this deck if I had them. Unfortunately, Moloch's like super expensive on MTGO right now, so I'm just running one. Um, side The lands, a lot fewer utility lands than a deck like Maverick, because there's not really any way to find them. I am running a Boseiju, I am running an Otawara. These kind of work with Slowgurk the Overslime a little bit, while also being kind of untapped lands. Only one basic in the deck, a Forest. The rest of it is all non-basics, but I think the mana is going to work out. Sideboard, lots of stuff for like combo matchups, but I do have Carpet of Flowers for the blue matchups, kind of help like make sure that I can get there with all my mana. A Veil of Summer, a couple Force of Vigors to complement the Pick Your Poisons, 3 Rebs, Meltdown for the Urza Saga decks, Surgicals for the Graveyard decks. I'm running a Flusterstorm and a Hydroblast, and I'm running 2 Hull Breachers. This is kind of for any like Brainstorm deck, the Beans decks, maybe some combo decks that are running Brainstorm or Ponder or something like that. I'm kind of interested to see how this works with Animar. Because I'm not running black, I don't really have anything else to punish draws, so I don't have something like Orcish Bowmasters. So Hull Breacher is kind of where I'm at. So I'm going to hop into a league and kind of see how this deck performs. I've done no testing with it whatsoever, other than looking at the mana base and trying to make sure that like the mana base should be able to cast the spells that I have. But I am excited to see if this deck is any good. All right. All right, on the draw here, kind of weak hand, but I have kind of the 2 Questing Druids. Hoping this is kind of a slower matchup. I guess I have a Wasteland if it's not a super slow matchup, but I think Questing Druid on turn 2, like casting a Seek the Beast, I'm going to hope that's good enough. All right, I'm going to keep it. Okay, my opponent looks like Scam. They pitched an Atraxa, which is okay. So for this matchup, I guess I have the Wasteland for like a non-basic. Outland Liberator I think might be bugged right now, but that could be an answer to something like an Animate Dead. But they might just be full scamming me here. We'll see. I guess I'll just F6 because there's nothing I'm doing. Are they scamming? They're scamming. That's fine. Took both the Questing Druids. Now here's a question. So I can Wasteland them and hope that they kept a 1-lander. The risk if I try to, I'm going to take some damage from the Grief, but I don't think I'm going to die to Grief. So I actually lean toward Wastelanding here instead of trying to ramp my mana, because they only have 3 cards in hand. If they have something like a Troll of Khazad-dûm and no other land, like they're in big trouble. And if they have a cantrip, same kind of thing. So I'm gonna actually open with Wasteland here. I'm gonna hope they don't have another land. And the big worry here is that the worry if you don't Wasteland them is that they go like Troll of Khazad-dûm into another Reanimate and you just lose the game. But this actually seems fine. So I'm gonna just play a Misty and pass. I should be okay here if I can, like between the Collector Roof and the Outland Liberator, I should be able to stabilize. All right, and I'm gonna fetch a Surveil land at the EOT here. I have a Hedge Maze. And I'll graveyard this. I don't hate Otawara, although it's not exactly what I'm looking for right now. Should I play the Outland Liberator or the Oof? I think I'd rather play the Outland Liberator in case my opponent like I don't want the Outland Liberator to get removed, but I think if my opponent can't deal with the Outland Liberator, it's gonna flip. Oh, and it flipped anyway because of the bug. There's a bug right now. Okay, well they got their land. Taking me to 9. Let's see what they got here. If they have removal, I have nothing to stop it. But if all they have is something like a cantrip or a Troll of Khazad-dûm, then I'm in okay shape. So the Frenzied Trapbreaker would have flipped anyway, so I'm okay. Moloch's pretty good, but I actually think I want to hold that a turn and just play a Collector Roof. I'm going to just get a beat in here. The reason why I want to hold the Moloch, I think I'd rather play the Moloch around days. So I'm going to just play a collector oof here. And I'll play it like this. And I'm holding up something like Animate Dead. Or Frenzied. I can Frenzied Trapbreaker and Animate Dead. Okay, there's the troll cycle. Okay. So something like an Animate Dead isn't that good against me here. If they reanimate, that's okay. All right. The Wasteland. So I lean toward playing the Wasteland and playing a Moloch for 1 to fight the Grief. And then maybe a Wasteland on the Underground Sea. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'm going to do it pre-combat to inform my combat decisions. So let's go Moloch X is 1, and we're just going to fight the Grief. They could have a Bowmaster here. I'm wondering if I leave up the Frenzied Trapbreaker. Well, I guess we'll inform my combat decision. We'll inform my decision here. The Moloch will exile the Grief if it resolves. And the fight effect has to resolve too. So if they like fatal push the Moloch in response, I do not fight the Grief. Or the fight doesn't resolve or whatever. I can Otawara the Grief the following turn, and if they like grief me again, I don't really care, right? Okay, they're gonna let it go. Let's see if the fight resolves. It does. I'm gonna Wasteland here. Do I want to Wasteland? They could reanimate. I think it's okay. Let's Wasteland. I'm gonna see if they're gonna Bowmaster here. Okay, they're gonna Bowmaster, it looks like. I assume. They are going to Brainstorm. Okay. They technically could daze the Brainstorm and bring back the Underground Sea, but it looks like it's resolving. Guess they could do the same thing with like an Entomb and then daze it. But yeah, we'll see. I'm a little worried about a reanimate, but not super worried. I mean, they can't reanimate Troll of Khazad-dûm. They could animate dead something, I guess. Although, I guess if they animate dead Troll, like I can just Otawara it next turn. Their life total will be under pressure here. They're going to Entomb. They're going to Troll Cycle again. All right. So they have another Underground Sea. That's fine. Let's just get the beats in and put their life total under pressure. All right. So the Frenzied Trapbreaker will flip back normally if they cast 2 spells. Okay, they are griefing. They're going to see that I have nothing. They've exiled Archon, so they have Archon and Atraxa in exile. Usually this deck only runs one of those. They now see that I have Otawara, which will bounce anything that they reanimate. Could have like a Bowmaster, I suppose. They're just going to cast Bowmaster. They're going to Petty Theft. That's okay. Grief seems very good here. Grief seems really good. Or sorry, Endurance seems really good. Let's get in with the Oof. And let's cast Endurance. We're going to put all their stuff back. And we now have a blocker for the Brazen. And we're presenting lethal. With an Otawara. Okay. We're not presenting... Well, I guess we can't Otawara unless we draw land now. I guess they could have Bowmaster. I don't think I want to... Well, I can't fetch Dryad Arbor with a Scalding Tarn, so I guess that's not an option. This is an okay draw, but it's not great. So opponent can trade like presumably... Oh, they have Entomb here. That's curious. Okay. Okay, so we are up against Rescaminator, which is probably the top deck in the format right now. And we have some things for that deck. Veil seems great. Surgicals seem good. Carpets are okay. I don't think I want Force of Vigors. Like, you can get an Animate Dead, but I don't think that's where you want to be. I don't know if I need Flusterstorm. And Pyroblasts are almost certainly coming in. The Collector Roof, despite getting the job done last turn, or last game, is worthless. So I'm not going to play that. The Furies are kind of dangerous. I probably want to cut them, as awkward as that is, because they are a good reanimation target for my opponent. Like if they grief me and reanimate Fury, I'm kind of screwed. So I think I want to cut that. The bolts seem fine. The rest of these are not great reanimation targets for my opponent. Pick Your Poison is not stellar, but I might keep it in. Some of the 1-mana dorks I might cut. I might cut 1 or 2 for carpets, just because like they're running Bowmasters presumably. Let's see what else is kind of bad here. Most of this is actually pretty good. Even Animar is pretty good. I guess they I mean, they don't know that I have this, but like Animar just holds the ground against anything they're doing. I think I want this at least. I think you do want all these because they're probably running Murktides, and these are kind of an emergency answer to Atraxa. Maybe they're better than Pick Your Poisons. Probably are. And then I want to make one more cut. I don't think it's the Outland Liberator. Let's see here. 50 seconds. Animar might be too slow. Maybe I'll trim one Animar. It's a little slow. Keeps my creature count reasonably high. I wonder if you want Hull Breachers here. They're probably not terrible. Probably better than Animar. Huh. Yeah, maybe I'll trim the Animars and bring in the Hull Breacher. Yeah, let's go with this. All right. Let's see if we can get lucky. This is a 1-lander with Boseiju and Carpet. If I get griefed here, I could just lose the game. I think I have to mulligan this. This is worse, somehow. All right, I guess we're keeping this. Okay, I want all of these cards. Which 2 lands am I keeping? Probably a Taiga, and then maybe a fetch. Yeah, we'll put back a Volk and a Wooded Foothills. All right. Sad days. All right. Okay. What do you got? Swamp. All right. I think I'll just play the Misty and pass. So my opponent could Dothy Voidwalker. That's fine. I'm not super worried about that. I am going to fetch here. And I'm just going to get a Trop with the intention of bolting it next turn. Actually, maybe I'll get the Hedge Maze. That's probably better, actually. I would like this. I will keep that. So I'm not gonna, I don't want to wasteland their Underground Sea because that's where my mana from Carpet comes from. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Taiga. I think I'll play the Carpet off the Hedge Maze and see what my opponent does here. Okay, I'm gonna go to main phase 2. We'll go ahead and add red, and we're gonna bolt the Dothy. All right. Mana base, mana's looking good. I can play a Scooze and keep mana up the following turn if I don't lose my card here. I have a Veil for something like a Thoughtseize, but they're gonna reanimate Dothy. That seems fine. I don't care. So now I have a Scooze with Veil backup, which seems good. We're going to go ahead and say yes and add green. I'm going to play a Wasteland. I don't think I even want to Wasteland here. I think I just want to cast Scooze. Oh, I was going to cast Scooze with the Wasteland mana, but I guess this is fine. Okay, opponent is forcing. I'm going to Veil. I'll Veil. All right. I don't think I want a Green Sun here. I think I'm good. My opponent could have Bowmasters. I don't think I care about Bowmasters. I'm not going to attack into a Bowmaster with Scooze. I will be more defensive about it. True name. I have to Red Blast that. Oh, that was weird. Okay, we're going to Red Blast True Name Nemesis. And now I have a target for the True Name. Opponent's going to get in for 3. Seems fine. Opponent's on 2 cards in hand. All right, that's kind of bad. Let me check actually what I can get out of the deck here. I have a land. I could Green Sun for Moloch to kill the Dothy, which seems okay. Uro's bad here. I could Endurance. Yeah, I kind of like Green Sun for Moloch. I feel like that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and do that. So I think I'm going to say yes. I'm going to get green. I'm going to play this land. I'm going to tap that, tap this, tap this. Yeah, we'll do that. And I'll just green sun for 2. I'll get Moloch. Moloch will fight Dothy Voidwalker. They'll both be exiled. I'm going to Scooze the True Name. And I'm going to swing. All right. And I'm going to actually eat the Force of Will just to play around a Murktide Regent. All right, so my opponent could have a Bowmaster here, which is kind of something I don't want to... Oh, I should have eaten the Reanimate at the end of turn. That's pretty good. I think I'm going to do... I'm not going to attack here. I'm just going to make green and eat their graveyard. And hold up. Because they can trade the Bowmaster for everything, and I do not want that. Let's see if my opponent casts a cantrip. All right, I'm going to cast the Hull Breacher. The Hull Breacher, even if it dies, can be eaten with the Scooze. So it's a good card here. They can brainstorm in response, which seems fine. All right, that does nothing. I'm going to just decline. I'll go ahead and attack with the Hull Breacher. If my opponent wants to trade this for the Bowmasters, that's fine. It will unblock their cantrips, but it will grow the Scooze. And I'm going to decline this and just keep the carpet in my hand. I think it's more valuable as information my opponent doesn't know. Like if my opponent griefs it away, I don't really care. Although I might consider the Wasteland here. I think I'm going to do that on their turn. I'm going to Wasteland the Underground Sea. I don't want to see another True Name Nemesis. All right, they're going to do something. No, they're not. Okay. Oh, they had a fetch. Well, we will eat their land. Just keep them off Murktide. Go to my turn. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. I think I'll decline the carpet here. No. What would I get? I could get Uro. Uro's not bad. Uro would open me up to something like a Bowmaster killing the Hull Breacher. I'm gonna cast the... No, I'm gonna cast the carpet pre-combat. All right, now let's go. I'm gonna get in with just the Hull Breacher. If they want to trade it, they do not. And so now I could get Slowgurk the Overslime, which is not bad. Could get another Endurance. Or I could get Animar. Or Uro. I feel like Uro is the best thing here, but I have to tap out for Uro. Maybe I skip that. Maybe I just get an Outland Liberator. Or maybe I hold up for the following turn. maybe I'll just decline both of these. I'm just going to hold it up for the following turn and pass the turn. Let's see what my opponent's got. Some movement. All right. They go to 6. I have lethal damage on board. Dress down. Okay. Okay. All right. Looking good. All right. On the draw again. Have an endurance, have a bird. I think this is fine. All right. Opponent kept 7. All right. Yep, we're good. Okay, this could be another one of these scam decks. Ponder. All right, that's fine. I'm going to lead with the bird, even though the bird could just get bowmastered. I mean, you got to just play into it, I feel a little bit. Unless I draw a Delighted Halfling, I think that's my plan. I might actually lead on Taiga. If my opponent wants to wasteland me, like, that's good. Like, I feel that's fine if my opponent wants to wasteland me. So maybe I'll do that. I'm going to lead on Taiga. All right. But they could just bowmaster me. There's the wasteland. Things are going according to plan. Well, maybe. All right. Okay, let's jam the scoos. Not super concerned if this gets dazed. They're going to daze it. That's fine. Okay. Then they're going to wasteland me. I'm going to take some hits, but I have lands, so should be okay. Oh, I don't want to. I yielded through the turn. I don't want to do that. Okay. You got it, opponent. I'll take 2. Play Misty, and I'll pass. I will be fetching a Hedge Maze at the EOT of my opponent's turn. And I hope to not have to use this Endurance if I can avoid it. Oh. This is Bug. This is maybe the Bug, Bug Beans. Just going to go Murktide. Okay, that's trouble. Yep. All right, I need a little bit of help. The Endurance is not going to help me very much here. Let's get the Hedge Maze going. Graveyard. Although I don't have a ton of fetchable red sources anymore. I have Volks. Man, rough. Alright, I think we just jam Animar here. Which I have to do off of Volk. I guess I have 2 Volks. So, let's see. Blue, red, green. This will hold the Orc armies away. Opponent's like, what the hell is going on? You are correct, opponent. What the hell is going on? Yeah, daze is fine. Alright, opponent's got me on a 2-turn clock. I need to draw, I think, exactly pick your poison, because I just don't have a ton of ways. I guess there's Brazen Borrower too. You got it. All right. Just play another Volk. I'll pass the turn. So I pretty much have like one turn here. This is the turn. And if they have force, I'm just dead. Actually, there's a bunch of things they could have that all kill me. So I have to notably not target their graveyard here. Could target my own graveyard, which I might actually do. I'll target my own graveyard. Okay. Do they have a fatal push? Fatal push. Am I dead? They have fatal push. Okay. You got it, opponent. Okay. So this looks like bug beans to me. That was kind of just didn't match up well against that. Maybe I should have played around the. Maybe I should have played around the Murktide by evoking Endurance, but kind of hate doing it that early. So let's see. Bug beans. I think Veil's good. Carpet's probably better than Dorks. Don't need the Meltdown. Don't need the Surgicals, probably. The Force of Vigors are a consideration. Like, these cards are all have text, and most of the other cards are worthless. Oof's definitely bad. Fury's okay, but I'm not actually sure it's necessary. Like, I don't really care about Bowmasters very much. I'm not a cantrip deck. I don't really need to clear Bowmasters. So I actually think Fury may not be entirely necessary here. Usually their threats are pretty much just Bowmasters and Murktide and maybe Uro. So I think I can cut Fury. I might keep most of the bolts though. I'm going to trim a bird and a noble hierarch for the carpets. I think I want all the blasts. I definitely want Veil for sure, and I can't see myself not bringing in Hull Breacher. Most of this seems pretty good. Skoos is not amazing. Some number of bolts are probably unnecessary. Like, these mostly don't hit very much. Maybe I don't need any of the bolts, actually. Like, bolts are pretty much just for Bowmasters, and I don't really care about Bowmasters. I think this might be a one Force of Vigor kind of a game. Like, I have 2 pick your poisons. I have the Outland Liberator, which is bugged in my favor, and maybe 1 Force of Vigor. That feels okay against Bug Beans, because Bug Beans, like, do you really want to use a Force of Vigor against 1? Probably not. Maybe I'll actually take a Surgical over it, because, you know, they're not going to have Leyline bindings. I don't think, I mean, this looked like the bug version. It didn't look like the other version. So, yeah, I think I like this. I have a Surgical in case they have Uro. I can also take like a Murktide or something. All right. This hand's a little questionable. I don't hate it. Like, if I draw a land, I'm in great shape. If I don't, I'm kind of screwed. Maybe I have to mulligan this. Like, I can go mana halfling and then following turn Green Sun Zenith. But if they just like kill if they fatal push the halfling and Bowmaster the arbor, like I'm just screwed. Maybe I mulligan this. This is better. I'll keep this. All right, we're keeping this. What am I bottoming? It might be the Skoos, which I don't think I need for a while. Yeah, let's go with this. All right, we'll just play a Wooded Foothills and pass the turn. I don't know if I want to Red Blast like a cantrip super aggressively. Probably not. Maybe I want to use that to hit a Stifle or something. I don't hate an Outland Liberator, but I'm not going to play it right now into, like, I'm not going to play it now and get no value from it. All right. Do I want to play the Outland Liberator? Or I could just jam Animar? Or I could just hold up mana? Yeah, I think I'm just going to hold up, actually. I don't feel any need. I guess, yeah, I think I'm just going to hold up here. I don't see any need to, like, really press this. All right. Opponent's going to brainstorm. I'm going to let it go. I don't think I need a red blast to brainstorm. I want to hold a red blast for, like, a force. Preferably like before they have a beans. But if they play a beans, like, I can play an Outland Liberator, and that feels pretty good. Do they have a Surveil land? No. Lorien. That seems fine. They got an Underground Sea. Okay. What do we got here? Beans? Beans. It's the musical fruit. All right. I think I'm going to fetch here. And if they stifle it, they did not. So I'll get a Hedge Maze. Endurance seems okay. I'll keep that. And I want to draw that, so I'm going to go to my turn, play the Volk, and I think here I want to just play an Outland Liberator and see what my opponent's got going on. And maybe I'll fetch one land first. I'll get a Taiga and then play this. And we'll go green. All right. Okay, and I'm not going to play another spell. And this flips because it is bugged. Opponent is going to brainstorm. Brainstorm's good. I'm going to fetch here around Stifle and just, I guess I'll get another Taiga or Volk. I want red. I guess I'll get another Taiga. All right. Yep, Frenzied Trapbreaker is bugged, so my opponent has to play 2 spells to flip it back, or they're going to lose the beans if they try to kill it. Murktide? Murktide's fine. I think I'm going to red blast it now. Counter target blue spell. We will do this here. It's still at 0 for 1, so that's not great for me. Opponent draws a card. If they cast 2 spells, they do flip the Frenzied Trapbreaker back. Nope. Alright, they're going to flip it back. Ponder's good. So this guy's right now is bugged. It seems like it flips, like day flips to night when it's 0 or 1 spells cast, when it should only be 0 spells. Do I want to play Uro or do I want to play... I think I want to play Uro here. Actually, I'll play Animar before I play Uro. All right, let's go Animar. So we'll go blue, green, red. Animar. Just protection from their black removal. They're just going to force it. That's fine. Okay. And then I will flip the Outland Liberator. Definitely cheating a little bit here, but nothing I can really do. This card's bugged in my favor. Guess you got to take it. Okay. That's trouble. I'm actually going to hit the beans here. So I didn't really get any extra value off of this. Do they have another Merc? They could. If they have another Murktide, I do have a Pick Your Poison for it. Opponent's still got like a pretty full grip here, which is not what I like. I think if they don't play a Murktide here, I might try to Endurance. And if they do play a Murktide, I'm probably going to play Uro, actually. Okay, they are causing me to lose life, and they're going to mill. They mill Uro. All the more reason to cast Endurance. Kind of hope for a land here. No land. Alright, well, I'm going to go to their upkeep and cast Endurance. And I'm going to hope this resolves. Kind of unlikely, given they have 6 cards. Daze and Force. How many Dazes and Forces? They've only used 1 Force and 0 Dazes, so it's kind of unlikely. Although, who knows if they kept in Daze on the draw. They kept in Daze on the draw. All right. Another Wasteland. Okay. I guess that's the Wasteland that they got back with Witherbloom Command. I'm going to go ahead and cast my own Uro here. Hope this doesn't get stifled. It did not. All right, green, blue, colorless. My opponent can cast their own Uro. I think that's still better than Hull Breacher. Okay. Oh, okay. They have a Bowmaster. That's fine. This is my only card draw effect. No land onto the graveyard. All right. You got it, buddy. Another Wasteland. I'm definitely behind here. I'm definitely way behind. If I could get my own Uro online, I'd actually not be in terrible shape, but I don't think that's happening with their Wasteland. They can't... I mean, I killed their Uro, but they can just bring it back the following turn, which is not where I want to be. Trouble. Okay. I guess my options here are Pyroblast and then Endurance away their graveyard, which feels pretty bad, but I think that's what I got to do. All right, let's do it. If they have force, I probably just lose the game on the spot. All right, we're going to endurance away their graveyard, and hopefully this is enough. If I come back from this, this is going to be amazing, but it's looking pretty unlikely. 5 cards to 1. My opponent has more permanents on board too. Kind of getting wrecked by the beans. There's the beans. More beans. And they've only used 1 force. They've used 0 forces. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to stem the tide here a little bit. I'll cast the Green Sun, try to get a Dryad Arbor. Or not a Dryad Arbor, a Delighted Halfling. Daze is fine. I could have got the Dryad Arbor, but that's risky too, because they could just have another Bowmasters. Definitely, my deck is not lining up well against where they're at right now. There's the other Bowmasters, so if I got Dryad Arbor, I would have been punished even harder. And they've got me on a 1-turn clock here. I don't even know. I don't think there's anything I can draw to get out of this. Fury, interestingly, would have been okay. Well, I would need a red card. I think I'm just losing the game here. Yeah, that still loses. I will just concede. I guess there's not 2 cards. There are 2 cards I could hit. We'll seek the beast. We'll see what we can get. That will not do it. All right, now I'll concede. GG's. All right, on the play. I would love to play first. Hand looks good. Let's keep it. Opponent has mulligan to 6 and to 5. Kind of like this hand more. Like, as my opponent has mulliganed, you know, like each of my cards that trades 1 for 1, I feel gets better. Like both Pick Your Poison and Lightning Bolt, you know, like if they have something like a Chrome Mox start or something, it feels pretty good. Collector Roof is also pretty good in a Chrome Mox start. I don't think I want to play Nissa here. I would like to play Nissa the following turn and then play the Misty and then fetch. So I'm just going to play a Valk and cast the Oof. So let's just cast Oof. Let's see what my opponent's got. 2 Valks. That kind of screams Delver to me. I wonder, do I want to jam this into Daze, though? Because it is kind of my only card here. Let's attack with the Collector Roof and see what my opponent does. I mean, I guess we'll do it. Like, I think I'd rather get the value out of it than not. Would I rather it sticks? Yeah, because if they just have a bolt, like... Well, I guess if they have a bolt... Because I could play it around Daze by playing a fetch land. And then I can get value the following turn. Maybe I'll do that. Because, like, I'm not... I mean, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Because if they have Bolt too, that also kind of wrecks my Nissa. So I'm going to go like this. It's not ideal, but okay, they just force it. That's fine. Didn't matter. And I will fetch a hedge maze at the EOT here. Get a little bit of selection. All right, an opponent exiled Forest to Forest. They did. Okay. Definitely I will keep that. Top of library. All right, let's cast Slowgurk the Overslime. And then play a Misty and pass. Ponder's fine. So my opponent cannot, like if they bolt Slowgurk, I crack the Misty and save it. And even if they're able to remove it, oh, that was not what I was expecting. Vesuvan Drifter. That's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but it will have to go. It will have to do. Like, don't get a Gristlebrand. Okay. All right, I am going to crack this and give my guy a counter. I guess I'll just get Dryad Arbor out of the deck. It speeds up the clock by a turn too. I have Pick Your Poison for the Vesuvan Drifter. It's a creature with flying. Let's open with that. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. So let's do that. Do they have another force or something? They do not. All right. We're going to crack the fetch, get another counter on Slowgurk. I'll just get a Tropical Island. And I'm going to swing with everything. Oh, okay. Opponent scoops it up. So this is Show and Tell. That's the only deck that runs Vesuvan Drifter. And I was able to beat them on a mull to 5, which is fortunate because this is going to be a tough matchup. And because they're running Volks, I'm going to guess this is Sneak and Show rather than like blue-green or blue-black. All right. So what's good? Hull Breacher seems good. Hydroblast seems good. Flusterstorm is probably okay. Pyroblast and Red Blast are great. I don't think Surgical is very good here. Like if I had Thoughtseize, maybe Surgical's okay, but I don't. So I think Surgical's a cut, or just not coming in. Force of Vigor is an open question, I think, because it does hit Omniscience, it hits Sneak Attack, but those may not be enough. Cool. So what's bad? Oof's not great. It can turn off a Lotus Petal, but it's probably not where I want to be. Pick Your Poison is probably okay. Bolts are dead. Furies are probably not great. They do kill the Vesuvan Drifter, but I think I just have Pyroblast for that. I think I'll run, I'll cut a Noble and a Bird for the Carpets. I think that's like an easy swap. And then I have potentially 10 cards to bring in. I've cut 7 already. Animar seems okay here. It's not going to be great, but it's okay. Moloch is probably dead. It can kill a Vesuvan Drifter, maybe. So maybe I'll keep it. Okay, 1 minute. Definitely keeping these. I'm keeping these. The Endurance is just okay. Slowgurk is okay. I think all this is coming in. Maybe you don't need the Force of Figures. Those are probably pretty dubious. Want to make one cut. It's probably Animar, just because it's slow. The rest of this feels fine. Force of Vigor might be something I bring in, but I don't think so. Yeah, this is good. Let's hope we can get lucky again. This hand looks great against Show and Tell. I'm going to keep this. Okay, do they just have it? That's a lot of things. Sneak attack. Do they just have it? No. Well, I'm going to pick your poison on that. Opponent will sacrifice an enchantment. Man, this card has proven to be like pretty good. There are very few matchups where this card is totally dead. They're going to brainstorm. Brainstorm's fine. Let's see here. Okay, so I can play the bird, hold up the Hydroblast. Or I could play the Outland Liberator. I'm going to play the bird and hold up the Hydroblast. I'm going to do that. I mean, the Hydroblast hits like nothing. It literally hits almost nothing. But it does ramp me. Alright, I'm going to cast the bird. I'm doing it. Although casting an Outland Liberator that auto flips feels a little OP. I don't want to cheat the opponent that hard. Okay. They got it again. They have that. I'm going to Hydroblast that. Counter target spell if it is red. Alright. Man, this is pretty good. I don't think I think I just play the Outland Liberator and pass. Yeah, let's do that. And I'll tap like this. I'll tap like this. And I'm going to get a cheat here where the Outland Liberator flips undeservedly. But I think I want to keep all of these lands, even though I can't really do anything with the Otawara. Like, I'm only one land away from it. Okay. Opponent can do that. You are allowed to do this. Show and Tell. Okay. I'm going to put in the Endurance because if they put in Omniscience, I can sack the Frenzied Trapbreaker in response. If they put in Emrakul, I can pick your poison at the following turn. So I think I'm okay. They have to have, well, I guess it has to be exactly like Emrakul or something. So I'm going to put in Endurance. Okay, Archon of Cruelty. That's going to be a slight problem. So I will hit this. And then do I want to sacrifice the Bird of Paradise? I guess any of these I could sacrifice. They brainstormed. I think I'm going to sacrifice actually the Endurance. And what am I discarding? I'm probably discarding Otawara. No, I might discard the Bos. I'm going to discard the Otawara. Okay. The other thing is, so I could just, they're on a 3-turn clock. I guess they're going to be at 20. If I pitch the Otawara and I pick your poison, I sacrifice this. Yeah, I guess I can do that. I think that's okay. So I'm going to sacrifice the Bird of Paradise, and I'll discard the Otawara, and I'm just going to put my opponent on a clock. All right, let's do it. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. We'll do that. And then let's swing in. Opponent's on a 4-turn clock. Nothing. I think I want to... Do I want to play the Boseiju? Yes, I think I want to play the Boseiju here. Well, let's swing in first. I don't have to do it now. Actually, I can play the Misty first, and I can choose whether to play land, because I'm not playing the Nissa this turn. Oh, but I want to play... Yeah, that doesn't work. I think I have to play the Boseiju, and I'll sacrifice the Frenzied Trapbreaker. The other option is I can present lethal here without playing around anything. Maybe that is what I want to do. Because I can just put them on a 1-turn clock. And I guess if they draw exactly something that kills me, then I lose the game. All right. Yep, we're going to do it. We're just not going to play around anything and hope that they don't have something that kills me. Let's go, opponent. You need exactly 2 cards that kill me. Or I guess you could have the Vesuvian Drifter and then, like, get into Emrakul or something. Okay. Got there. Nice. All right, on the play again. And this hand is unplayable. Unfortunately, just the Arbor. If I had, like, one other untapped green source, if I had one untapped green source, this would maybe be a keep. You could maybe keep it with 2 dorks, but I don't think I can keep this as is. This will do. I'm going to keep this. I think I'm going to bottom the Fury and keep the lands. And I guess I'll just open with a dork. I don't think I need to go for a basic. So I'm just going to go for a non-basic. I'll go for a... I'll go for a Taiga. Alright. Alright, opponent. Let's see what you got. Opponent kept 7. Scalding Tarn. Alright. No other play. Okay. Kind of like Delighted Halfling. Maybe Delighted Halfling plus Hedge Maze. Feels okay. Let's go with that. Don't want that. And then we'll cast the Delighted Halfling here. Now, even if they Bowmaster my bird, I'll still have plenty of mana. I just need to draw some sort of action. Okay. Red-black. Okay. I'm hoping this isn't some sort of Reanimator deck. Okay, this is going to be Painter. That makes sense. This hand feels good here. Like, I have stuff that interacts with them. Yep. So pick your poison can force them to sacrifice an enchantment, like the Saga, unless they play another enchantment. Yeah, that feels good. Then I have a bolt for like a one of the goblins. Yeah, that seems fine. So I'm just gonna keep pressuring their mana and bolt the goblin engineer. Ah, this is the so this combos with the Agatha's Soul Cauldron, which makes this better, but I think I still want to hit the Saga. Uro is good. I like Uro. Can I can cast everything. So let's cast everything. All right, let's pick your poison. Actually, let's do this. So each opponent sacrifices an enchantment. We'll do that off of this. Boom. Opponent has to sacrifice the Saga. And now we bolt the Goblin Engineer. And then I will, and I can even Uro the following turn. So I have blue-green, I can get any color. I'll get a Valk to round things out. Let's see, yeah, I'll have everything. Cool. So let's go blue, green, colorless, cast Uro. So this is kind of lining up really well. My opponent does have 6 cards in hand, but you know, their mana is kind of pressured. Their mana is going to be even more pressured. Well, let's wasteland them. So all my permanents are on the field. My opponent has nothing on the field. It's a pretty good turn 3. Now watch, they just go Soul Guide Lantern. And then I'm sad. There's a Badland. Grindstone, sure. Well, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I think I'm going to leave the Bird of Paradise up, just in case I draw something, some action. We'll go blue, green, green, blue. Do this. So let's get rid of these things, and then maybe a Wooded Foothills and one of the Wastelands, I guess. We'll do that. Nope, no land. Cool. I will play the Delighted Halfling, and we'll just pass the turn. So this is lining up pretty well, I feel, against my opponent, but like, this is still a deck that can just kill you out of nowhere, pretty much. Still, I'm going to be drawing a couple cards a turn with Uro, hopefully. Yeah. I've destroyed 3 of my opponent's lands and Urza's Saga and the 2. Okay, opponent's got another Saga. All right, well, let's get in there. See, I exiled one of the Pick Your Poisons. I guess I'll play a Trop. I'm going to keep the other card in hand, just keep the Taiga in hand just as a unknown information, and I'll just pass the turn. This is still, like, if my opponent just goes Painter here, like, I'm kind of in trouble. All right. Man, just an assortment of riches here. So opponent cannot kill a halfling without a spirit guide. Let's get in there. Just everything is lining up really well for me here. Play the Taiga. And we're going to play the Oof. So let's go green and red. And just play the Oof. And I feel like just everything that I drew lined up super well. And my opponent's like, what the F? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So this looks like red-black painter. I'm going to just, let's see, I was on the play and mulliganed once. All right, cool. So what's good here? Force of Wills. I don't think you want to do Veil of Summer, you know, like hoping that they name blue or something. I don't think that's realistic. Meltdown's good. Hydroblast is good. Hull Breacher, probably not. Surgical's probably yes. And the rest of this is probably no. I don't think you want Flusterstorm. Can't counter like a Grindstone or anything, so I don't think that's where I want to be. Okay. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, almost everything is good. Fury feels pretty good in this matchup. Like this is a matchup where they might have multiple creatures. Moloch feels good. Animar might literally be the bad card. You know, like their black is probably for maybe Bowmasters, but more likely Chaos Defiler. And Chaos Defiler will get around this. So I actually think Animar is a cut here, unfortunately. Feel bad because that's kind of the point of the deck, but I think that's probably correct. Uro feels slow, but probably fine. The pick your poisons are great. The dorks are probably good. I think you want all of Skoo's Liberator and Oof. Endurance is probably okay. Nissa is questionable, probably bad. That brings in these. I think you do want some number of surgicals. Could see trimming an endurance for a surgical, although endurance is pretty good. Maybe slow Gurk is not where I want to be here. Bring in a surgical. I think you do want the other surgical. I'm gonna cut a questing druid for a surgical. All right, I think this is where I want to be. Yeah. I don't love this. But it's okay. Like, yes, I don't have a green source other than the Dryad Arbor, but I have a Seek the Beast, which I can cast off this bulk. So I think this is okay. It looked worse than it ended up being. Like, I could even pitch the Dryad Arbor to the Force of Vigor and just hope that the Seek the Beast finds a green source. And if it doesn't, like, I have the Dryad Arbor in a pinch. I think this is okay. I'm going to keep it. Did my opponent mulligan last game? No, I mulligan, and they kept 7. Okay. Okay. The old turn 1 Painter Servant. Okay. Now the question is, do I wasteland them? Meltdown makes me think no. Let's see here. So what do I have if they, like, if they just grindstone me here or something? I think I'm okay. Um, I think I can play slow. If they do like pyroblast my volcanic island, I will probably fire off the Force of Vigor. I can Fury pitching the Meltdown too, so that's an option. Let's see what they got here. Nothing going on. Getting in. That seems fine. Is this a Fable? It's a Goblin Engineer. Okay. Probably getting a Grindstone. Notably, the Fury plus Meltdown don't do the job here. Let's see. Bolt's pretty good. Bolt is good. So I can bolt the Goblin Engineer. Let's see. I could bolt plus Wasteland. I still don't have another green source. Yeah, this is kind of a tough hand. So I can't kill both of them with Fury. I could Fury pitch Meltdown and bolt the other one, but that's trading 3 for 2. So my opponent, let's see, they could go like, what I'm worried about is if they like hold up a Pyroblast or something, and then they blow out my Force of Vigor. And I kind of don't want to blow up the Painter Servant because of the Goblin Engineer. Maybe I'll just bolt the Goblin Engineer and we'll go from there. Let's do that. All right, we're bolting the Goblin Engineer. And I'm going to actually hold the Wasteland. I don't think I want to fire it off yet. Because if they have something like Urza's Saga, I think it gets better. Although it's questionable to fire it off. It's question like if they play Urza's Saga here, do I want to fire it off when they have open red? Probably not. This is definitely like a 4 to 5 Pyroblast deck. Ensnaring Bridge. That seems fine. Okay. So I think here I want to fire it off. And the question is, do I want to pitch the Dryad Arbor or the Zenith? I will pitch the Dryad Arbor. I'm going to take a chance here. We're going to go like this. And my opponent has now missed a land drop. Oh, they did not miss the land drop. All right. Okay. That makes me less willing to fire off the Wasteland. Okay. Well, I'm missing a land drop here. I have the Seek the Beast, but not much else going on here. And there's the card selection for them. All right, now I really need this to kind of hit a land, or I could hit a land on my turn. But I need something. All right, that's actually pretty good. So I got a Misty and an Endurance. The Endurance is probably dead, but that's probably okay. So let's go with the Misty, and then maybe a Bird of Paradise. Yeah, let's do that. Don't want to play too far into like their Fury, which they're pretty close to casting. I'm going to get a basic here in case they have Blood Moon, which is totally a thing that this deck runs. And the Endurance will just go away. That's okay. They're going to Bowmaster me. That's fine. Well, it's not fine, but it happened. That's not really what I wanted to see, but I guess it's going to happen. Don't love it. Yep. All right. Don't hate the delighted halfling. But I think the answer here is, so I can Moloch all of this, or sorry, I can Fury all of this, pitching the Meltdown. Yeah, maybe that's the answer. Maybe like Questing Druid and then Fury pitch the Meltdown and hold up the Moloch for the Fable. It feels okay. All right, let's do it. I'm going to go like this, because I'll Wasteland a Saga immediately if they have one. All right. And let's just wipe out all their creatures. Hate pitching the Meltdown, but so it goes. All right. There we go. So they are running Bowmasters, which I wasn't confirmed really until this. But that seems like a good thing for Painter because it, forces people to have another thing to pitch. Like it forces out more like Force of Wills and stuff from red decks or from blue decks. Okay, they bolt my Questing Druid, which is fine. That guy was a 2-for-1 already, so that feels good. And let's see what they got here. Even if they have a Fury, like Moloch would trade with Fury, which feels good. Okay, they pitched a Bolt. No, they pitched just an Opal. Okay, no other effects. Oof. Let's see. Not sure I want to like how much do I want to do this here? So the Moloch can trade with the Fable. Maybe just play Delighted Halfling. I think I'm going to continue to hold up the Wasteland. I'm not going to fire it off. Definitely punished. I'm short on green pips. I only have the one forest, and that's causing me to be able, I can't double spell because of that. Definitely if this was like a dork or something, maybe that would be better, but I don't know. Let's see what the opponent's got. I can cut them off black, but I feel like this is this is what I would have been waiting for. Like, this is my opportunity. All right, don't even give them the mana to cast anything. So they can't even cast Fury here. Okay, they have a Painter's Servant. That is legal. And everything is blue, which is bad, I suppose, for me. Okay, that's pretty good. So they could have a Bowmaster. Should I play around Bowmaster? Really wish I drew like a Force of Vigor or something like that. Oh well. Okay. I think I want a Taiga here. And now the question is, so I can Moloch plus Collector Roof, Moloch the reflection away. If my opponent has Fury, I am just utterly going to be destroyed here with Fury plus reflection. I really don't like that. But I think I can't leave the Painter's Servant here because I just lose the game if they have it. I guess, yeah, that would just lose the game. So I think the answer, I think I have to Moloch here. And I think I want to play around Bowmaster and do a full value Moloch. And if they have Red Blast here, I'm going to be sad. If they have Red Blast into Grindstone, I'm going to be very sad. So let's do this. Well, Moloch X is 2. Moloch is green, blue, and red. And my opponent's probably just going to Pyroblast here. We'll see if they have it. Bolt won't do it because this is 4. So I played around Bolt and I played around Bowmaster. I guess Bowmaster doesn't, like, the Painter Servant would only deal 1 damage to this. I'm going to fight the Painter Servant here because that's the card that kills me. So I'm going to fight here. And let's see what my opponent's got. Still could Pyroblast it, and that would do the job. If I had a Force of Vigor, I would punish that very hard. But I don't, so I guess I can't do it on my turn anyway. All right, well, took care of the Painter Servant. They still have 1 in the yard. But I'm still kind of living in fear of, okay, so they had a Bowmaster. That's fine. I don't really care about Bowmaster too much. I mean, I do care about Bowmaster, but it's not gonna win them the game. They can Reflection the Bowmaster, but that's just 1 extra damage. It will start pumping up the Auric, which I guess is something. Let's see what they've got. There's the Fury. I figured they had it. And they can copy it and get in for an extra 6 here. So they can hit me for 8. That feels pretty good. Yeah, they're going to copy it, which seems fine. It will still go away after this, and then their board will just be these 3. But, you know, that's pretty good. But they're hellbent. All right. So my life total's under threat. Liberator is great. Do I want to fire it off right now? I think the answer is yes. All right. And so I have oof if they draw something. They drew a land. All right. So I could get a Scooze. I think Scavenging Ooze is pretty good here. I guess they have Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Collector Oof shuts that off. Maybe I'll play the Oof. And this should at least kind of holds the board. I guess maybe I don't want to end my turn. All right. Yep, let's see what they got. Nothing. All right, that's good. That's good for me. I like that. Boseiju is valuable 2 different ways, so I have to kind of think about this. Let's see. So I can get Scooze, or I could get one of these, like an Uro or a Endurance or Animar, I suppose. I guess Animar I sideboarded out. I can't cast Uro if I get it, because I don't have double blue. Endurance is a thing. I think I do want to play the Boseiju. So let's go ahead and just open with that. I think I have to play it. I also could endurance myself and put back like Delighted Halfling or put back Outland Liberator. But I think I'm gonna go like this. Actually, I'm gonna tap differently just to hold up the Taiga, and I'm gonna get the Skoos. So let's get Skoos, and I am not gonna have any action here. And this way, if my opponent has Fury, I'm in trouble, but it could be worse. Let's look at my opponent's graveyard. I don't want them to have Fury. Okay, they had Ancient Tomb. That feels very bad for them. Okay, they scoop it up. Okay. Still haven't gotten an Animar going, but this felt okay. All right, on the play, I have faced this person a couple times. They're usually on a tempo deck or like a blue-black deck. I've faced them on Doomsday. So a couple different decks, but I would say like Delver or Tempo, something with Days is very much in their wheelhouse. This hand looks sweet. I'm going to keep it. Doesn't have removal, but it has kind of everything else you might want in a hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm opening myself up to Wasteland, but I actually think that's okay with 3 more lands in my hand. And my thought process here is next turn Wasteland plus Seek the Beast, depending on what my opponent does. Opponent kind of has to respect the Delighted Halfling too, so they might just get rid of it. All right. Let's see if they fetch basics. They did. And they got a Ponder. That seems okay. All right. I'm going to probably play the Misty with the intention of fetching a Hedge Maze. Or actually, I'll play the Scalding Tarn, because that fetches few... Like, this can fetch Dryad Arbor, and this can't. So I'm going to play the Scalding Tarn, and I'm going to just Seek the Beast on their turn. All right, let's do it. Underground Sea. Okay. Okay, I'm going to Seek the Beast. See what my opponent's got here. This could be Rescaminator. It could be... It's probably not Grixis Delver. Could be some blue-black. It could be Doomsday. I'm probably Wastelanding, but it kind of depends on what I seek here. Looking for various beasts. Found lands. That's not really what I wanted. Well, okay. Not really what I'm looking for. They're going to Fatal Push my Delighted Halfling. That's fine. I'll get the Hedge Maze going. I don't think I want Fury, but there's a question of whether I want to put Fury into my graveyard. Ew. Because this sure looks like some sort of deck that might have Reanimate. It could be Bug Beans again. I'm gonna graveyard it with the intention that I'm gonna play Skoos to protect it. I think that's my plan. All right. I think I'm going to leave the Misty in exile and just play the Trop, even though that doesn't fuel the graveyard quite as much. I think I like that better. I guess I have more Trops. Misty can just fetch another Trop, but it could get stifled. I'm going to play the Trop, and I'm going to play a Scooze. And I'll hold up Bolt, which I don't have, but my opponent doesn't know that. So I'll tap like this, play the Scooze, protect the Fury, and see what my opponent does here. All right. The Fury is protected. Still unclear what my opponent's got. Fatal Push sign kind of implies not Doomsday. And that deck usually doesn't have removal in the main like that. True Name Nemesis. That's okay, I think. I mean, it's not ideal, but... And I don't have any way to get rid of it. I will eat the Fury. My opponent can't really attack here, because I will win the race. Okay. I can Wasteland. I can Wasteland plus Questing Druid. I don't have any way to make Questing Druid bigger, but I feel like this is okay. The other option is just holding up Scavenging Ooze. I kind of actually want to eat down the Yard and maybe bait out something with the Noble Hierarch. So maybe I'll Wasteland and just eat the instants out of the Yard, and we'll see where it goes from there. All right, let's go ahead and get the Noble going. If my opponent Bowmasters it, like, that's fine. And I'm going to eat the Fatal Push here, just to keep the Yard down. So I don't really have any way to deal with a True Name. I'm going to look at, what do I got here? I could race it with Uro, I guess, but that's pretty much it. Pick Your Poison doesn't kill it because it doesn't have flying. All right. All right, let's see what you got, opponent. Brainstorm's fine. I hate, like, if my opponent cracks a fetch here, you kind of want to... You don't want to let him Murktide, but you also don't want to let him, like, Entomb Reanimate. So I think I have to let the Murktide go if they have it. Bowmaster is totally fine. I don't care at all. Let's see if my opponent wants to get aggressive. They do not. All right. I think I'm just going to eat down the Ponder. I'll eat down the Brainstorm. I'd rather keep my opponent from a big Murktide, because otherwise they're not going to kill me with what they have on the board. Bolt seems good. So let's go ahead and play a Taiga. I'll play a Questing Druid. I'll tap like this. And I'm holding up Bolt, and I'm holding up 2 Scooze activations, which seems good. Let's see. And if they Bowmaster, I can Bolt something. Okay, they're just going to force. That seems fine. I am going to eat down the Ponder. Let's do that. Just keeping the graveyard down here. Notably, Animar does not get through True Name Nemesis. I haven't seen this card in a while, and 2 opponents in this league had it. All right. You got it, opponent. Wasteland's good. Let's see what they got here. Is this a Shieldred's Edict? Sure. I'll go ahead and eat the Brainstorm. I don't care about the Bowmaster. All right. So now they have 1 card. Moloch is not bad here. But I think I want a Green Sun and Endurance them. You know, one of the cards I considered playing was Malanthrope, and Malanthrope would actually be really good here. Actually, I guess it wouldn't be, because I wouldn't get anything from their yard. But I think I'm just going to play the Misty, and I'm going to Endurance their graveyard, and hope they don't have Spell Pierce. That would be sad. All right. Endurance it is. They could conceivably stifle it. What you got, opponent? I wouldn't have minded putting my own graveyard back, but okay, they do have a stifle. That's fine. I don't think I need to bolt the Bowmaster here. And obviously can't bolt the True Name, so seems okay. They're going to Wasteland a Taiga. It's fine. Nothing I can do to that. If they draw Murktide, I will be sad. No need to fetch here, I think. Wasteland is okay. Is Wasteland better as a bigger Moloch? Probably. Let's do that. So let's just go X is 2. We'll exile the Orcish Bowmasters. And this will force some action. Like I'm going to attack with the Endurance and into the Orc army. All right, let's eat the Bowmasters. They're going to stifle again. Okay. Well, I'm still going to attack in. Okay. I don't think there's any reason to bolt here. Like if they attack, I just block with the Moloch. I will attack with everything against them if they... Don't think I want to get Dryad Arbor here. I am on a 3-turn clock, so it is kind of like a racing situation. Don't hate Boseiju, but I don't think it does much here. I'm going to get aggressive. Okay. I think I am going to Wasteland, just to keep them off a second True Name. They stifle that, it's fine. Okay. Okay. And I guess I'll probably swing out again next turn. And I have the bolt in case they... Okay, they're holding back the Bowmaster to block. That seems fine. Nothing. Don't think I need to fetch the Arbor. Mistakes were made. That's okay. I'm going to swing with everything. They're going to block. Sure. I'll play the Arbor. Hope they don't have another Bowmaster. They have another Bowmaster. They have a Shieldred's Edict. A non-token creature. I will sacrifice the Dryad Arbor. Alright, buddy. You need a blocker, so like something like a Bowmaster would be very good. If you don't have something like a Bowmaster, you're kind of in trouble. If you have a true name, I probably just lose the game. Alright. Animar's funny. Alright, well, let's swing out. Okay. I will play the Animar. Do I want to play Animar? Yes, I do. I still have a Volk. Yes, I do. Okay. So if they have like a Brazen Borrower here, I'm not dead. I probably should have actually played the Boseiju because if they have Wasteland plus Daze, that's actually bad for me. Or Wasteland plus Stifle. I should have played the Boseiju. That's a mistake. Oh, opponent scoops it up. All right. Animar getting the W. Not sure that that's what won that game, but I think just Mawlock plus Endurance won the race. Opponent didn't know that I have a Bolt, but actually having the ace up my sleeve was pretty good here. Okay, so what kind of a deck is this? It kind of doesn't look like Rescaminator. It looks like more of a tempo-y blue-black deck. Not seeing any other colors. I mean, it's got Stifle plus Wasteland plus Bowmasters, Shieldred's Edict. All right. Okay, so kind of just a blue-black tempo deck. Veil seems good. Carpets seem good. Pyroblasts seem good. These are probably not good. Don't think I need any of those. Hull Breacher's questionable. Surgical is questionable. Oof seems actively bad. They have Bowmasters, but it is tempo. So I kind of lean toward like maybe trimming one dork for the two carpets. Yeah. They're black, so I actually think Animar's okay here. And I don't mind the Furies. I haven't seen any like reanimation effects, so I don't mind Fury here. I have not taken out nearly enough cards though. I like Slowgurk against things that mess with my lands. Brazen Borrower because they're almost certainly running Murktides. The Pyroblasts are good against. I mean, these 6 are for sure. These are questionable. I think Animar's not bad. Fury probably actually doesn't hit too much because like I don't really care about Bowmaster and it doesn't hit True Name and it doesn't kill Murktide. So maybe I will trim the Furies. Okay. I have 50 seconds to cut 2 cards. Don't think there's any way I'm cutting Uro. Don't think I'm cutting Nissa either. Maybe I'm trimming 1 Animar and trimming like a... Maybe a pick your poison, actually. Pick your poison's actually probably bad. Maybe I'll keep in the Animar and go like this. I know they're a brainstorm deck, but getting to 3 mana might be hard on the draw. So maybe something like this. This feels okay. Alright, let's go. So this is blue-black tempo. Possibly Delver, possibly not. This is kind of a dicey hand, but I'm going to keep it. And hope to draw a land in my first 2 draws. They are Delver. Okay, so it's blue-black Delver. Do I want to Wasteland? I think I'd rather Wasteland here, because if I play out the bird and they just Bowmaster it, I'm going to be very sad. Whereas sometimes you just win by Wastelanding Delver's only land. If I knew they were on Delver, I would definitely have kept in the Furies. Okay, Plague Engineer gone. Forest seems good. Okay, do I want to Wasteland again, or do I want to play Bird of Paradise? Do I think they have another land and a Bowmaster? I'm going to just Wasteland again. I don't think they play that land if they have a cantrip. Okay, Wasteland. That's what I wanted to see. They could obviously like cycle for a troll, which would be sad, but all right. Let's play the bird, and next turn I can bolt. Assuming I don't get no fetch. No fetch. Opponent never had it. I am not blocking. All right. This is fine. If they... I like that. That's pretty good. So let's open with Bolt, and then we'll play Scooze. And my opponent can't daze anyway, so maybe the Scooze will be the bait spell. I actually kind of like that. Scooze is a bait. Let's try it. Okay. They're not taking the bait. Oh, opponent's got a land. Don't like that. That's Bowmaster mana. Huh. That's very odd. There's 2 creatures in their graveyard, so I can just Scooze here. I don't need to do anything pre-combat. So let's just swing in with the Scooze. They could have a Fatal Push. And if they have it, that's fine. What do I want to do here? I think I'm just playing the Delighted Halfling. So I think I might eat 1 with the Scooze. We'll eat the Delver. And I'll go like that. All right, that's it. Now we'll play the Delighted Halfling. I probably should have tapped the Boseiju during combat, or even the bird, maybe. This lets me have an uncounterable Animar next turn, which isn't amazing, but it's something. Okay, opponent has Island. They have Brainstorm. Do I want to Pyroblast the Brainstorm? I think the answer is no. I'm going to let the brainstorm go. If I had another mana open, I would be more willing to do it, but I don't really want to Pyroblast into Daze unless it's like an emergency. Okay. Let's see. I'm not super worried about a 5/5 Murktide, so like I'm going to just let that go. It's a true name. I am going to Pyroblast the true name. Counter target spell if it is blue. We will do that and hope they don't have Daze. They had Daze. Oh no. Maybe I should have not eaten with the Skoos. That might be a mistake. All right. Well, that's no good. This is definitely a problem with Animar. Okay. Well, let's cast an uncounterable Animar. I actually think I'm going to trim their yard down. I'll eat the brainstorm. All right. Just to keep the Murktide. If they want to cast a 4/4 Murktide, have at it. Brainstorm is okay. Still don't really have answers to True Name Nemesis. But as we saw last game, I was just able to race it. So it's an option. And I'm going to start growing the Animar next turn. Don't think they have any ways to kill it, really. I mean, they have Brazen Borrower, but that's probably about it. I doubt they brought in Hydroblast. It's possible. I guess it's possible. They could have brought in Hydroblast. It's not unreasonable. I am at 12. True Name Nemesis is a 4-turn clock. What is this? Petty Theft on the Ooze. Okay. All right. You got it. Seems okay. Okay, so let's cast the... I guess I'll cast the Ooze first because they know about it. So let's go ahead and cast that here. Oh, I have to pay. I have to do combat math here. So I'm going to attack for 3 this turn with the Animar. Do I want to hit him for 4 with the Delighted Halfling? Maybe. Probably. And then I'm leaving up the Skoos to eat a Brainstorm or a Plague Engineer. Probably a Brainstorm just to keep things down. All right. Well, we're doing it. So I'm definitely casting. I think I'm going to cast it. I think I'm going to tap the Delighted Halfling and hope that this doesn't come back to bite me in terms of mana. All right, so we're doing that. Then I'm casting this for 1 mana. All right. And then I am just attacking with Animar. Now, I think I'm going to eat the Brainstorm. And I'm going to just tap out here, but I think I'm going to eat the Brainstorm. And I think I will sacrifice this. Even if it opens me up to Wasteland, I think I'm okay with that. I'll get, I guess, I don't want to get a Vault because I want to eat something. So I'll get a Taiga. And I'll eat another. I'll eat the Daze. All right. All right, opponent. I guess I don't want to yield through the turn. just in case. Double Wasteland's fine. You gonna try to race me, opponent? It may not work. No, okay, you're gonna try to race. That's fine. That's fine too. 3/3 Murktide? No, Delver. Okay. Another Delver. They're totally blind, so they could have brazened. That seems better than whatever they did there. Okay, so this is, what can I get with Green Sun? Probably nothing good. Yeah, that cut me off mana pretty good, actually. I think I'd rather leave the bird up to block and maybe even get another bird. Let's see, I can attack for 7, which is most of their life total. If they blind flip, I think I just lose the game. So that's a thing. I guess I could double block with 2 birds. I guess we'll do that. I'm going to do this. Okay. I can get a second birds. And then I can't attack. I'm going to leave back the Scoos. Do I want to leave back the Scoos? I can eat the Plague Engineer with the Scoos if they block. Yeah, maybe we'll just do this. Yeah, let's go like that. All right, opponent. Let's see what you got. You flipping? They are flipping. Okay. That's fine. I'm actually not dead. This is kind of amazing. This is some 3/3 Murktide. It's not going to do it. They are going to cast a 3/3 Murktide. Okay. Notably exiling the Plague Engineer. All right. I'm going to double block here. I think they have to leave some, like, attacking with the Delvers seems wrong. Like, I think they win the game if they leave a Delver back. But I think they'll lose if they attack with the Delver. I think they will lose this game if they swing there. Let's see how it goes. I wonder if getting in that extra point of damage with the Halfling will matter. They're really thinking about it. They're doing combat math here. Okay, not swinging with the Delvers. Very smart. That is what they should do. Because if they swing with the Delvers, I'm pretty sure they lose. Okay. Like, even if they block the Animar, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I have lethal. Only because of the cheaty Frenzied Trapbreaker. But yeah, if they commit to this, I'm pretty sure they lose the game. The Scavenging Ooze can grow from the forest. Okay. They keep thinking about something. Just the true name? That would be correct. Maybe true name in one Delver. Probably true name alone, because, you know, it doesn't change the clock. Okay, I think they lose here. Okay, so I need to, let's see, this is their turn. So I think here what I want to do is block. These are mandatory. I will float, block, take 3, float green. And I can't, I have to lose the mana, I guess. So there's nothing I can do here. I guess I might as well eat a land. All right. You got it, opponent. This does nothing, because it doesn't even grow Animar. And I'm just going to swing, and now I have birds in the graveyard to grow the Skoos by 1. I think this is game. Right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Opponent messed up the combat math, I think. Kind of a shame, because all they needed to do was just attack with the true name, because they're killing me they're killing me the following turn. You know, nothing I can do about that. I think this is lethal. The extra Animars. Yep. All right. So got a 4-1 with Animar. Pretty good result. Can't hate it. Pick Your Poison felt pretty good there. Like, I feel like, you know, what did I face? I faced Blue Black Delver. It's got action. Painter, it was good. Show and Tell, it was really good. Bug Beans, I got wrecked, but, you know, this destroys enchantments. It's good. And UB Reanimator or Rescaminator, like, it was okay there too. Like, every single matchup, this had something to do. So I like this card. Overall, the core of the deck, like the rug deck, feels good. Unfortunately, like, I'm going to be 100% honest here. It's possible that Animar is the worst card in this deck. I do kind of feel like Animar, the last matchup where, you know, I guess it got forced in an earlier matchup, but like that last matchup where it kind of grew a little bit and, you know, reduced the cost on a few things, like that was kind of the first time it did anything. It just felt like a card I rarely wanted to Zenith for. I just don't. I don't think this is it. Yeah, I don't know. I hate for that to be the truth, but, you know, it just didn't feel great. So I don't know. I don't think this is it. Maybe that new card Loot, I'll show that off again after this. Maybe that's going to be better. The rest of this all felt pretty good. You know, like Uro won a game against Painter. Slowgurk felt okay even in a couple spots. Nissa ate, I think, a couple counter spells and was okay in a spot. The Furies had their spot. Like, everything here felt pretty good. I think I brought in every single card here. Maybe not Flusterstorm, but I might have even brought in Flusterstorm somewhere. But yeah, I brought it in against Show and Tell for sure. So, you know, the sideboard felt good. I think everything here felt pretty good. Overall, just Animar was probably the weak link here, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, I tried the deck out. Let me know what you think. I am interested to try. I'm gonna see if I can get this card over again. Let's see. So I'm interested to try this card when it comes out in a week or so. Like it's also like rug colors. It's a legend, so you can cast it uncounterably off halfling. It doesn't really do anything by itself, which is never a feature that you really want in Legacy. But it combos with a lot of good cards already. If you start having something like a Fable of the Mirror Breaker, or you have even a Delighted Halfling, you start to get value with this every turn. And green sunning for a thing that will get you value every turn feels better than green sunning for Animar, where you kind of have to like build up Animar over time. It doesn't get you card advantage, but it gets you like mana advantage, which didn't like barely manifested over that 5 game league. Is this card going to be amazing? Probably not, but I'll put it through its paces and see if it's any good. Anyway, thanks. Hopefully you enjoyed this league. It was a little different. Tried out a new card. It was moderately successful. I mean, the scoreboard looked good. Whether Animar was good is kind of another story. But let me know what you think. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. All right. Have a good one.